Hey everybody, this is Dr. Cash Money, bringing you another Cash Money video. Today I want to talk about fusion events. Fusion events are usually a great way for players to pick up new legendary champions if they can complete certain tasks. So let's kind of dive right into the current fusion event that's been going on for a couple of days for Cillian the Lucky. I've already talked a little bit about Cillian at this point. We have an ample amount of time, maybe a couple of days in, for him to be fused. Most of these epics will not be missed by many players. I saw some Jingle Hunter play when I was in silver, maybe some low gold, but most of these other guys, except for I have some people that have said they enjoy or like Corpse Collector. They really won't be missed. These guys all primarily look like food. Out of the rares, Seducer is probably one that I've seen some good possible builds for him. Who else is in here? Ghoulish Ranger, Perforator, forget this guy's name. Most of these look just straight up like junk rares. Except War Maiden's not a junk rare, but she's easy to farm. So there's that. So it looks like mainly a bunch of junk rares. Alright, so let's see what the stakes are for the fusion event. Even I haven't really paid too much attention because I assume incorrectly I'll easily be able to do it. Yay, we're going to give you some lucky charms for St. Patrick's Day. That's basically what's going on. To fuse Cillian, you'll need those 4 previous epics I mentioned. We got a champion training event. It's 10 days long. Dragon tournament, which is ongoing. Steadfast Marshal from a Golem tournament. Arena Assault for Perforator. What else? The same champion training event probably. Dungeon Divers, Spider Tournament, Arena Assault. Dungeon Divers, Artifact Enhancement. Looks like the Dungeon Divers is going to go on for a long time too. Some big Dungeon Divers. Artifact Enhancement, save up your silver. War Maiden, you're going to have to farm her. That's not a big deal though. Cudgeler, Champion Training, which is also the long one. Fire Knight, Summon Rush, Artifact Enhancement. So a lot of events that are going to lead into this. I think as it stands right now, myself, I already knocked out the Arena Assault. It wasn't that hard. Champion Training, this is one of the long events. This is going to take a long time, honestly. And it gives you a shot to just straight up get the Corpse Collector if you do enough of it. Which that'll probably push. That'll probably push people to try a little bit harder there, just to get that. I think I was gonna say it might even try to piss people off trying to get to it, but I was torn between piss and push, so I was like piss. Either way, you either get pissed off trying to get it, or it'll push you to try to get it. Most people that at least try to push to get Corpse Collector are probably going to also push for this Legendary Tome, because people love Legendary Tomes. Of course, right now, the big tournament that's going on is Champion Chase, which is usually Champion money grab action. Get people to either buy shards or rip open saved shards. I'm still saving my voids for a void event. I did use some gems that I had saved up, and I had something else that I opened up that gave me a lot of points. Because, you know, it's not based on what shards you open per se, it's what you pull out. So I had like one of my 10 pulls of ancient shards just give me like 2 epics. It was a big jump there, plus a few other things. Oh, also during champion chase, if you know, fuse things together, things like that, that'll boost you up too. So if you actually started the fusion event and like fuse like those champions, you'll be good to go. I think I had like 2 sacreds from Nightmare Clan boss, or Ultra Nightmare I should say, which I was hoping this would be done and I could collect on that and work on that a little bit more. But so we've looked at what the events are, what's already ongoing, some of the incentives that are going on, like I can't get this red dot to go away. This boosted summons, which is really just only for Queen Eva, can't even think of her name. It's not even an increased chance as far as percentages from the shards. It's just there's 10 times more likely chance that if you hit a legendary percentage out of ancient or sacreds, there's 10 times more likely chance that legendary will be her. This is one of those events that nobody really cares about a whole lot. I need to crack open a little bit of food. Okay. And of course, let's look at what the prize at stake is. I've talked a little bit about this guy. He has a lot of defense for an attack type, so he's definitely, like I said in another video, probably gonna be a good option for arena. He's just kind of tanky for an attacker. His debuff percentage, each hit has a 35. With booking, that gets up to 50%, and it's a 2-hitter attack, so 50% chance. Each hit has a 50% chance, fully scaled. Do 30% decrease speed debuff, and then also has a 35% chance it gets tuned up to a 50% chance of stealing 30% of the target's current turn meter. So stealing turn meter is also pretty fat for arena. Attacks when enemy, 85% chance to placing block cooldown skills debuff for 4 turns. Also has a 35% chance of placing a block cooldown skill debuff on all other enemies for 1 turn. So that chance gets boosted up another 15%. So at full skill, it'll be a 100% blocks cooldowns on 1 enemy, and then a 50% chance to get everybody else. That is a really good ability. That shuts down a lot of comps real fast. Headringer, stun, 75% chance for just 1 turn. Has a 25% chance of placing stun debuff for 2 turns, instead stealing 50% of the target's current turn meter, and if you kill them, it resets the cooldown of the skill. I'm not really too crazy about like that resets cooldown if, you know, killed, unless for some reason that Headringer does a lot more damage. Let's see, plus 20% versus plus 20%. Unless for some reason Headringer's single shot attack is damage boosted to the moon versus his A1, which we do see on some champions. Some champions have attacks that do a lot of damage, even for that champion. Like, for instance, my Rosin is max skills. His sheer attack will get into the 90,000s on a hit. And that's just 1 hit. It's usually a critical hit. But his A1 will sit there and flub out like 20 to 25,000 on attack. So, you know, 60 to 75,000 versus 80 to 90,000. that's just how the champion's built. So unless Headringer is just a big damage spike over the A1, I don't really care about that last part. The stun parts, yeah, good. It's arena. It has arena written all over it. Or maybe even faction wars and stuff like that. Not going to be good versus bosses. Not going to be good in dungeons. One thing I don't like on here is increased critical rate. Other than that, why not? It's random. It's a random bonus. It's a 4th skill. Let's do it. This is passive. Increase ally attack in all battles by 25% chance. That's a really good aura. That is a really, really good aura. There's no reason to not go after this guy. He is not game breaking, but he is good, and he is a solid champion to add to your roster, and he does not look hard to get. All things that I like in an event like this, where we have a chance to pick up a legendary champion from Fusion that isn't hard, that has a lot of time to do it. It's literally probably one of the better designed Fusion events that we've had, and I've got to get on the ball with the Dragon tournament so I don't wind up like I did in the Rotos Fusion event, where I missed out quite a bit. And I'll go ahead and tell you that story while we're killing some dragons with my dragon team. So the Rotos event was really, really good in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. But I did miss a couple of the champions from the event relatively early on. And I got a second chance at one of them because everybody else was having like login issues and stuff like that. Login issues wasn't my problem. It was like work versus play versus social life, all that other good stuff. Like I hadn't gotten in on the game. I got in long enough to log in and do like daily quests and knock a few things out, but just was not studying and like working on the game whatsoever. I was like, whatever, I'll get this due later. Well, this due later would come to be known as Coffin Smasher, which I thought he was Coffin Crasher at first. I actually kind of like the idea of him being a Coffin Crasher more than a Smasher, but that's just me. So, old Coffin Smasher, I didn't get him out of the events, so I need him to fuse. Well, it's fortunate I had it. I had already pulled the Skytouch Shaman out of another shard. So I literally had the epic I needed to complete the event. I'd done everything else. I even leveled up the Skytouch Shaman. I pulled and ascended her and got all that stuff good to go. I had lots of materials, which is another thing. When you have time and you're not really working on an event or anything, go and grind pots so you have potions ready for fusion events. One of the biggest pains people usually run into is they don't have any potions ready for the mayhem that is the events, and you've just got to go in there and do them. Like I had a huge surplus from missions. But back to this Coffin Smasher. So I was like, that's okay, he's a rare, I should be able to pull him out of some shards. So I went through all my mystery shards because I had a bunch of them at the time, like a few hundred or whatever, and I was leveling up other stuff. Didn't pull them out of there, and I was like, that's a long shot anyways. I had some ancient shards, not many, that I'd saved up from the monthlies, because you get what, 6 for every month from quest. Then you get like 5 or so from the market, and then you get 4 from every 7 days from the store. So we have what, 14, 15, 16, something like that, whatever, the ancients you get every month. So I'd just been saving them up. I had no real reason to crack them or anything. I was sitting on 20 or 30, I forget. Rip, go straight through them. Like, wound up pulling 2 legendaries on the same 10 with 2 epics. I was like, that's crazy. I bought shards, kept burning through. I was opening up shards left and right. Channel 3 was like, oh, it's like, man, Cash Money's like pulling like crazy amounts of legendaries today. He's just like letting it go. And I was sitting there telling him, I don't even want these legendaries. I want a coffin smasher. I need a coffin smasher. Where the fuck is the coffin smasher? Wasn't showing up. So here I am. 200 ancient shards have been opened. I've bought ancient shards. I'm just going in, just ripping and burning through them. I'm sacrificing rare champions as food to other rares just to make space so I can just tear through. I didn't care. Just tore through all of this stuff. Well, I think it was finally like 260, 270 ancient shards later. I finally got the guy. Someone in Channel 3 had joked that I was gonna pull a Rotos from a shard before I would pull a coffin smasher, which that was pretty hilarious. Like, I was laughing about that. That one had me laughing pretty severely. So the moral of the story here is, don't take fusion materials for granted. The events are usually pretty easy to do. All they require is you to commit some time to gameplay. Most of the time they're, you know, within reach to get. There are some that are a little ridiculous, like the corpse collector out of the champion training event. That one's definitely not targeted towards like free to play or average players. It's going to be hard for them to hit that goal. But the other champions are not like behind a paywall that I've seen yet. Now, some of them might be down the road, but none of them look like it yet. So we all have a chance here to get a pretty interesting legendary. That'll be good for arena, as I've said. You could probably use them in some other locations. Even if you're relatively new to the game, most of these events kind of line up a little bit. And it might help you in campaign if, like, you know, you haven't cleared Brutal or Nightmare. Like, I wound up clearing most of Brutal because of Black Knight legendary. That was one of my first legendaries I pulled. He helped me get through hard and Brutal, you know. And that was before he was buffed. So do the events, get the easy legendaries. There's no real reason not to. Well, that's all I gotta say about like the current fusion event. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed a little bit of me ranting about, like, you know, if you don't do fusion events, or if you're doing the fusion event and you're like, man, I'll just put that off, like I'll get it later. It's like, don't do it. I hope you enjoyed that rant, because that day was a mess. Like, I wish I had recorded me pulling all those shards and just put like my voice reactions like on channel and everything like that. Because there was people that were having a good laugh at my expense, and I was heated. I was so angry over it. But that was just how it went down. But I hope you enjoyed your video that you got from me today. Hope you like and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying me not using a modulated voice for a change. I do have other projects that I'm working on that I want to get done so you guys can enjoy. I don't really want to like hat tip and spoil them too much, but they are without a doubt en route, and I do hope to have them published and up for you guys as soon as I can. Thank you everybody in Channel 3 for all your support. What is going on in the channel right now? People are cursing at each other. If you haven't checked out English Channel 3, come on in and join the madness that is English Channel 3. We have several clans that are in here, and clan clusters that are always looking for new players, all skill levels. We have a lot of knowledge here. We have a lot of talented players. People that have been playing the game for quite a bit. Share, like, subscribe. I need all your help that I can get. And the more that I get, the more I'll be able to push doing more and more content all the time. And I'm trying to get to where I'm steadily cranking out like a few videos a week. Sometimes it's hard for me to find things to talk about. Also, hopefully here very soon, maybe even tomorrow, working on another project with some of the other players to do some podcasting and do just some talk amongst like people that play and that are on Channel 3 about things that are in the game, ideas that they have, and talk about a few topics there. That way maybe we'll like brush on some interesting things, and everybody can add in the comment section stuff they'd like to hear about or talk about. But hopefully the more and more that we do this, the more and more influence that we'll get on the game itself, and maybe we can actually get some other changes and new ideas put out there that a player will enjoy. Well, I'll catch all y'all later. Thanks for tuning in for another Cash Money video brought to you by Dr. Cash Money and all of his cash money that he's wasted on this game and this YouTube. Just kidding, I haven't really wasted that much. Alright, well, I'll see y'all later. Thanks again.